Hello everyone, welcome to Crypto TV. I'm Lisa Amnegard, bringing you all news crypto and Web3. A recent study released by Sygnum Bank last week showed that as many as 60% of institutional investors are now looking to invest in the crypto market. Joining me to discuss this, what it means for the markets and for crypto in the long term, is Gustavo Montero.
Thank you, Lisa, for having me here today.
So before we talk about what this means, I want to ask you, when or how long will it take for Bitcoin to surpass the $100,000 mark?
All right. Well, listen, we've been for 10 years in this business in Carter Capital, so I believe we know one or two things. I think that we have strong chances that before the end of the year, Bitcoin will be above $100,000. There are strong indications of that. The markets are telling us that. But don't forget that as we have an increase in value of Bitcoin and the other main coins, not only Bitcoin, there is profit taking, all right? So you will see dips going on as in a natural way, people will take profits. And when they make 20 or 30% in a couple of weeks, it's normal that people take profits.
But we'll still see the trend going up, or there's not going to be this crypto bubble that
No. I believe, given the global circumstances right now and the new election in the US and things like that, but not only that, I believe that we probably have a bull run for the next 4 years. That's my view of it. With dips in it, very clearly, all right, because it's profit taking. But I think that there's going to be a substantial growth on the crypto markets because of the global circumstances we're living right now.
And also it becoming a little bit more mainstream.
Oh, it's already become mainstream. I mean, when you have companies such as BlackRock, which is the biggest asset management company in the world, I think over $8 trillion were they managing right now, something like that. When you have companies like that, or JPMorgan, or all the other banks that are investing directly into this asset class, or obviously via ETFs, which is normal, it's not a problem, it's a normal vehicle. When you have them investing heavily into it, it's already gone mainstream. The only question you can ask is it mainstream for the retail investors? That's a question we can debate, but I think institutional-wise, it's going already.
Yeah, I mean, if we just talk about JPMorgan, since you mentioned it, I remember a few years ago, the CEO of JPMorgan said that crypto was a scam, and now they are investing millions and millions of dollars. So it's definitely changed in just a very short period of time. But looking now most recently, more institutional investors are looking into crypto for the long term. So why? What are they looking at, and why?
Since 1971, if you look at any statistics, you have seen central banks globally printing massive amounts of money, all right? Which created the bubble debt in the US in 2008 and a whole bunch of other problems. So we have created a major problems since then. So the cause of this change is the fact that there's a tremendous amount of people in this world that simply do not trust the current financial system. So they are moving little by little into this new financial system that is being created based on the blockchain technology and all the derivative and derivative products that we have. So I think that we are in a change of financial world. We're in a paradigm moment.
So the institutional investors are trying to catch up with how the mindset of the people are heading.
Well, it's more than that. You mentioned JPMorgan. It's not only that. I mean, BlackRock, the boss of BlackRock was also very much against digital assets and cryptocurrencies. But I would say every single boss of any bank in the past was like that. But what is happening is that their clients are telling them, I need cryptocurrencies. I need digital assets in my portfolio. And the majority of these institutions either didn't have one or still don't have the offering yet. So it's not that they're catching up, it's that they are looking at their client base that is changing.
And they want to stay ahead of the game.
Right.
Since their competitors
basically, if I don't have a crypto offer for you and I'm a bank, you're going to go to the next bank.
So
it's so simple.
So if we look at this space, it's quite broad. It's like saying any industry, it's very broad. So what specifically are these institutional investors investing within the crypto space?
Right. Well, a lot of them are investing in ETFs, which is a proxy to invest directly in a coin, as you know.
And what benefits does that give?
Well, it gives you basically very easy, fast, and daily trading of your product, of your financial product, which you can say was the same case in the crypto markets. Not necessarily the same case in crypto markets, because there are other technical difficulties when you actually trade crypto if you want to come back to fiat currency or whatever. But so I would say that that's the main area where they're investing right now. And also, as you know, many banks, many governments are now creating strategic reserves in cryptocurrency. Well, people talk about Bitcoin, but they're creating reserves in several other currencies. I mean, several main currencies, what we call blue chip coins. There are coins that have been in the market for quite some time, that are proven to be relatively solid, quite solid actually. And many of them, like the ones we work with in Carta Capital at a very low risk level, are coins that are what we call technical coins. So they represent something very real in the back end of whatever the coin is proposing in the market. So you have coins in the market. You know, there's, I think it's over 30,000 coins right now in the market, whatever. I need to check the numbers, but it's a whole bunch of them. Well, the majority of them have absolutely no reason to exist.
Yeah.
But a minority have every reason to exist. That's where we invest in Carta Capital for our clients. We call them blue chip coins.
Yeah, because you look at cryptocurrencies and you see Bitcoin, for example, spiking, but then you've seen other altcoins that have gone up 400%. So
yeah, or 1,000% or more than that. But
so when these institutional investors are looking into cryptocurrencies, how do they analyze the risk?
Most professional institutional investors will still try to look at the lowest possible risk in a market that by definition provides higher yield, right? The digital products or crypto products are historically producing a much higher return. But still within that sort of universe of digital assets, you have some assets that are super high risk and others that are much less risk. So the institutional investor will probably have a portfolio where they have the majority of the assets represent the lowest possible risk, and maybe they'll have maybe 5% on higher risk products. But this has been going on for a while. So what I try to tell also when I teach at universities to my MBA students, I always tell them there is nothing new that we're doing right now that we were doing before. What is new is the asset class.
So it's just treating it the same way, but it's in a different sort of Web3 world that we're trying to understand.
If you were coming to talk to me and say, Gustavo, I'll sell you this incredible coin that is going to make you 1,000% every 5 minutes, I will tell you, listen, let's go have a beer, right? And talk about football.
But when we've seen now, there's been an increasing amount of institutional investors looking into cryptocurrency following Trump's win in the U.S. 2024 election. So is that the only factor driving these institutional investors into crypto, or what are some other underlying factors?
As far as I'm concerned, this is my own personal opinion, so just engage myself. I think the situation that happened right now with the election in the U.S. and everything that Trump and his people represent in terms of wanting to have a crypto-friendly country with a very good big reserve in Bitcoin and all that.
He wants to monopolize.
Monopolize I think is too much. It's impossible to monopolize that. But certainly they want to be a main actor in this field. Right? So that has accelerated the process, and it will keep accelerating it for the next 4 years at least, in my opinion. However, as I said before, this is happening for quite some time. We've had, for the last few years, a very strong growth of the crypto markets, of the crypto industry. It was $1 trillion, then it was $2 trillion, and then today it's $3 trillion. With a CAGR growth of in excess of 20% a year. So this is happening. And I, as I said, my opinion is a bit different. I think that what's happening with the Trump new election is an accelerator, no doubt, and there's nothing to discuss about it. But this is happening for a different reason. It's because we're having a change, a generational change in this world. So the younger people are taking over the world. And the younger people that grew up with tablets, computers, and iPhones, or whatever other phone they had, cell phone, they understand crypto well, because they grew up buying Satoshis to buy Leo Messi's t-shirt in some sort of crypto game.
Yeah.
So they understand what it is. And these are the people that are now coming into the market and using the financial system. That's the main reason.
And now we have so many new actors in this space. So what do you see as the biggest challenges now going forward?
That's a great question. I think the biggest challenges in these markets for the user, for the buyer, is to make sure that they do not get into the hands of bad people. And we know that there's many in this industry, because there are no barriers to entry to the crypto industry. Anybody can create a crypto any day, anytime. You and I can create a crypto here out of the light in this building, for as long as we can find value for the light. Then we can, easily create anything, which will be worth nothing, but we can create a crypto, so everybody can create one. So I think the challenges are to find professional firms such as Carta Capital, but we're not the only one. There may be 10 like us in the world, I think, managed by ex-bankers, applying full standards to it, etc., to try to find those companies that will help them manage their assets, different than this person that will come and tell you, give me all your money and I'll make you 10,000% every minute. Fine, great. Well, let's have a beer.
Yeah, no, I understand. And also when we look at just Web3 and the blockchain and crypto, we've been talking a lot about the cryptocurrency, the financial aspect of it, but when you look at institutional investors investing into this space, where do you see the most potential when it comes to the currency or the blockchain?
Where do I see the most potential? I think I have a specific area where I think the potential is in this global industry of the blockchain, right? Is tokenization of real world assets. I think that's what we're going to. For instance, in the case of Carta Capital, we just opened a company in the BVI, it's a BVI company, called USDR Commodities, and the company is buying gold mines in Canada, Chile, Australia, and New Zealand, and is tokenizing this gold that is certified and audited gold in ground, and is actually producing a stable coin out of it. That is the tokenization of the real world asset. We actually started last week. We started a pre-sale last week, which is only for private people, because the coin has been minted, but it needs to be listed now in the next 3 months. And I think that those are the kinds of projects that we're going to come up. Tokenization of real world assets.
And we've seen tokenization happening for some time, and people are tokenizing everything. So how do you know what to buy into? What will actually have value? If you tokenize a property, we don't know if the property is going to be worth zero in 2 years.
Of course. Yeah. Well, I go back to what I said before. You have to absolutely understand the firm you're working with, the people behind the firm, the history, etc., etc. So to come up with the right party that's tokenizing the right item that's going to have the right value for you, that is research. I always tell people, never invest in the crypto industry unless you're advised by the right people. Do not do it on your own, you're going to lose money. Get the right advisors, Carta Capital hopefully, but there are others in the world that can advise you properly to do what you need to do.
Yeah. And if we bring it back to Bitcoin, we've seen the massive surges in the last 2 weeks, but what would be the next milestone for Bitcoin?
So Bitcoin now situates among many other currencies. It's no longer the only girl in town, all right?
Yeah.
So it's many other. So I think that what's going to happen is that this particular currency, will become, it's already becoming, I mean, what I'm saying is nothing new, is a reserve currency, all right? It's like gold. Think about digital gold. Someone used that, that's not my term. Someone used it before. So Bitcoin is digital gold. You store it there, you keep it there, keeps going up in value, and then you sell it when you need. It's the same thing you do with gold, by the way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that is the natural future for Bitcoin, knowing that it's the first coin that was ever put in the market. But there are many other, what we call the blue chip coins, which are very, very interesting, that are growing very nicely. And I think that We are, as an asset management company in Carta Capital, we have a portfolio of them.
Yeah.
And I personally look at the other ones. I don't look at Bitcoin that much.
If you were to give some advice or insight, which altcoins are?
Remember I told you technical coins?
Yeah.
Right. I'll give you one that everybody knows about it, but it's a good example to discuss this subject. Ripple, right? Yeah. Ripple is a fantastic coin, but what people, I mean,
they're
people
also having some problems now.
Yeah, no, but it's okay. It's fine. Every company has problems. It's just a glitch in time. Nothing bad. But the reasons why Ripple is there. Remember, Ripple came out with their technology, which is it's a blockchain technology in the back, as a way to replace SWIFT. SWIFT is a system we use. I'm an ex-banker, so we use as bankers to transfer money all over the world. SWIFT is very old, is owned by one company, is extremely expensive, and make huge mistakes, right? Because bankers make mistakes by using it. Well, Ripple is trying to do all the contrary, having something less expensive, faster, more accurate, etc. That is a technical coin. So I always say, and it's valid not only for crypto, it's for anything that you put in the market. Whatever you put in the market has to be solving a problem, right? So if I was going to say to someone, so look at this specific crypto and tell me, is it good? And I'll ask you,
what problem
is it solving a problem? What is it that it's solving? If you see that it's not solving anything, well, probably you're in the speculation.
Yeah, there's
area.
A lot of speculation in this space.
Massive.
So you would say that for someone, let's say, going into this space, they should look at different altcoins that solve a problem as sort of the first indicator.
But that is for any product. I mean, we're using crypto as an asset class to discuss this, but it's valid for any product that you put in the market. This is solving a problem. Why is it there?
That's really good advice. And if anyone in the retail or institutional investment space wants to find you, reach out to you, how can they?
Carta Capital. You can find us in LinkedIn. Carta Capital. You can find me, Gustavo Montero, in my LinkedIn page, Gustavo A. Montero.
Thank you so much, Gustavo. Your insights were very insightful. So thank you so much for being on our show.
Well, thank you, Lisa. It's been a pleasure being here. It's not the first time. You're absolutely right.
And I hope you come back soon.
Well,
it's always a pleasure.
If you need to find information about this, you can invite me anytime. Thank you very much.
We will. And that's all that we had today. Make sure to check out our other videos on Web3 TV, and we'll be back next week with more content.